Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Ball Boy, grabbing the All Faces of Death achievement. This is to die every single possible way in the game. This is going to serve as this game's form of collectible. First one you can get is once you get into the kitchen, you are going to fight your first boss, the Headless Chicken. All you have to do is just walk up to it and then get eaten by it, and that will be one towards the achievement. You get an achievement for getting your first one called First Blood, so you have that to look forward to. There we go. It's going to be for 50 gamer score, and there's going to be way more in the game, so you want to pay attention and not skip anything. Alright, once you defeat the chicken, you are going to have to eat it as per the story dictates. Normally you're supposed to go to the bathroom, but if you walk around back and forth for a bit, your character will start to get a stomachache, and eventually he'll crap his pants, and that will result in a death. There is another achievement based after this that you should also get too, but we've already covered that in a separate video. Next up, once you actually head to the bathroom and use the toilet, you're going to fight the second boss. Basically what you want to do is you want to press the air freshener button, which is this thing to the far left. The boss is going to start screaming, then all you have to do is just let it scream without doing the quick time event, which is you mashing one of the buttons. So instead of doing that, just let the boss kill you, and that will be another death towards this achievement. So just let it ring, don't press the button, and you should pop. Alright, next chapter, you are in the sewers. What you want to do is you want to roll forward. You have this crevice right here. You are going to have two main types of enemies when you are in this underwater level, the worms as well as the plants that eat the worms, and both can kill you. So the first set of worms is going to be off to the left right here. Just let them devour you, and that will be one towards the achievement. Then you have the plants. You can't get killed by your first plant right there, but the second plant can kill you. It's the one underneath the submarine. So roll down until you get to the submarine. You need to do this in order to progress to the next part, but if you jump into this pit right here, you are going to encounter another plant that will kill you. So make sure you go down here, get caught in the tentacles, and get consumed. So wrap up the entire water level. You don't have a death dealing with the boss fight, so don't worry about that. Skipping ahead to the greenhouse level, you have this spider right here. You want to make sure you roll while he's on the left side. If you roll when he's on the right side, you'll actually crush him, and then that will void the achievements because you'll miss one. Instead, what you want to do is you want to get eaten by the spider. Once you activate the strawberry boss, what you want to do is you want to get killed by him. Basically, he'll shoot out these little shots of acid, and all you have to do is just get hit by one, and your character will melt. You'll also notice your dog right here in the background. If you played the flashbacks, you know who this character is, but you have to get him killed too. That will also count as a game over if you get any of your buddies killed. So all you do is just stand here underneath this flower pot and let the strawberry thing shoot him twice, once to get rid of the web and once to kill him. It might take a little while, but be patient and just stay here, and eventually the dog will die, and that will also result in a game over. So after you finish up what you're supposed to do at the greenhouse, we're going to head into the attic. Once you're up here, once you figure out how to get both characters across to the other side, you have the giant bunny, and you have to get both characters killed by him. So first fly the dog over, and he should get swallowed and spit up, and that will be one. And then after you respawn, just send the bulb boy underneath. There should be a hole right here. The bunny will see you, and he will swallow you up the exact same way. Alright, last boss fight against the grandpa. Basically, this is where you are going to get a majority of your deaths. First step, what you want to do is you want to push that knitting needle looking thing in his side, and that will allow the dog to drop the bulb boy in. Your first death will be these teeth crushing things right here. Just get crushed on purpose, and that will be your first one. Then I'm going to actually leave the whole level in simply because it's very easy to get lost in here, and it's very easy to miss one of the deaths if you're not paying attention. So get past the teeth puzzles. It's one of those annoying pattern things like in Castlevania or like one of the Zelda games. But once you get down here, make sure you open up that door. That should lead you to the heart. That also gets the lungs moving, which will allow you to get up to the higher level. So jump on that pipe and go up here. There should be another pipe right here. You want to wait below this and let the wind carry you into these spike thingies above here, and that will be death number 2. Then what you want to do is once you respawn, just roll past it and go to the far pipe. Wait for the air to go away, and then go to the third pipe. You'll actually be swallowed and be digested by this circular thing down here, and that will be your next death. Once you figure that out, what you want to do is you want to go to the second air pipe thing after respawning, and then you want to take this thing while it's blowing out the air and jump on this thing, and you want to roll into this big pipe right here. This should take you down to this area. Press the button on the left corner. That should start the next boss fight sequence. Basically, he'll spit you out, and then you have to fight him. So there's actually 2 deaths you can get out here. He spits fire from above his head. That'll be 1, and he'll also swallow you if you fly into his mouth. So make sure you get those 2 before doing anything that does any damage to him. So get those 2 done. And basically, the way this boss fight works is you need to avoid all of his attacks until he falls asleep. And once he does, just push the knitting needle thing again, and then fly up with the dog and drop the bulb boy back in. And then you can continue all your inside adventures. Alright, I'm going to leave all these teeth puzzles in simply because I had the most frustrating parts with this because I am very impatient and hate doing these pattern things. So I'm just going to leave them in, and you can take advantage of that the best you can. But you only have to get the teeth death once. But anyways, for this next part, what you want to do is you want to roll all the way down here to the left corner, and this time you want to hang a right. This is underneath that heart-looking door. And you basically want to drop down here. I believe this is the intestines we're heading to. So just roll down here. You'll notice some stomach acid right here in this giant pool. All you do is roll into it and let yourself be melted. So just roll in here, and that will be 1 more death towards the achievement. Alright, then what you want to do is you want to go up to this ear looking thing. There should be a hot dog in it. Make sure you eat it, and then that will allow your character to throw up, and you want to ride his throw up jet all the way up here. You'll notice this like thing of antacid right here. All you have to do is just use your throw up ability above it. That should knock it into the pool of acid, and the boss will spit you back up, and then you have another boss sequence. Every time you do one of these boss sequences, you have another chance to get the fire or him eating you in case you missed it earlier, but you only have to get 1 of everything, so keep that in mind. Alright, next teeth segment. You can take advantage of this if you are too lazy to spot the pattern out for yourself, or you're super impatient to get these done. Alright, we're going to head back down to the digestive tract. If you forgot the way, remember it's underneath the heart door, but this time instead of heading right to the stomach, we want to head left into the large intestine. You can kind of follow this pipe looking thing right here, and you won't get lost. So just roll down here, and then once you're down here, instead of waiting underneath this pipe like you should, what you want to do instead is you want to go straight. Now this pipe will leak poop onto you basically, and you're supposed to cover yourself in poop, or else these like moth things will eat you. But basically, to get the death, you want these moth things to eat you. So let them swarm you, and you should burst. And this is actually where I got the achievement, so you don't have to necessarily get all of them. I believe it's a certain amount, but there's where I popped the achievement. 100 gamer score. I'll leave the rest in just for the sake of completion, or in case you missed one on accident. So moving on, we are going to get covered in said poop, and this will allow us to roll past those moth things. And once you roll past them, you'll notice there is another pipe organ thing. Just connect that to the other pipe organ thing, and that will cause the next boss sequence to start. Alright, after that last teeth puzzle, we can finally enter the heart chamber. So crawl in on here and roll your way through, and then you have the last boss sequence, which actually takes place inside the heart. You have to fight the heart. The way this fight works is basically you hit the A button to reach your tongue out, and you're supposed to lick this thing in its eye until the eye dries out. There is another way to kill yourself here. Basically, he'll spit back, and what you want to do is you want to open your mouth as he's spitting, and if your character swallows one of these things, he will die. So make sure you die before doing this boss fight. It takes a pretty long long time, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes, but keep tapping the A button and stop tapping it whenever the thing opens its mouth. And eventually, once his eye dries out, he'll die. You'll get the cutscene, and then you're at the end of the game. There is one last death you can get here. The grandpa will choke while he's eating food. If you just pace around like earlier, he will actually choke and die, and that will count as your last game over. And that's going to be it. If you happen to miss anything, if you go to the drawer underneath the fish bowl, there's actually a chapter select here that you unlock. So just use that, and you can go back and get the achievement that way. But that's going to be all the deaths. Hope you enjoyed the guide, and that's all there is to it.